Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Carroll. Today we're going to be talking about subtraction and finding the difference between two numbers. Let's read this problem. Jaden had 85 stickers in her sticker collection. She shared with her best friend Moira and gave her 37 to start her own collection. How many stickers does Jaden have now? Let's read it again to make sure that we understand what the problem is asking us. Jaden had 85 stickers in her sticker collection. She shared with her best friend Moira and gave her 37 to start her own collection. How many stickers does Jaden have now? When I look at the problem, I'm trying to figure out how much less Jaden has now that she has given stickers to her friend Moira. And so in order for me to do that, I'm going to subtract or find the difference. Subtraction is one way to find the difference. We have a couple different strategies that we're going to learn today. First, though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to estimate what my problem is and my answer could be. And so I see that she starts with 85 and we're going to subtract 37. So 85 is closest to 90, I'm estimating, and 37 is closest to 40. And when I subtract 90 minus 40, I get 50. So my answer when I solve the problem should be close to 50. And I estimate just to make sure that my problem makes sense. So the first strategy that we're going to use is something similar to an open number line. And we're going to draw an open number line for this strategy. And we're going to start with 85 because that's what she started with. And she gave her friend 37. And we're going to find the difference between those two numbers. So we could start at 37. And since 10 is a really awesome number to work with, we're going to go to the first 10. And we're going to add 3, and that's going to take us to 40. But then, from 40 to get closer to 85, we could add 20, and that would give us 60. And then we could add another 20, and that will give us 80. And finally, we're so close to 80, we would just add 5. And the numbers that we added up to get from 37 to 85 would be 20 plus 20 plus 5, which would be 45, plus 3, which would be 48. So 48 would be how many stickers Jaden has now. And as you can see, 48 is really close to 50. But you might say, well, actually, if she started with 85 and she gave 37, wouldn't I be counting back? So we could also do counting back, where we would start at 85 and we would end with 37. And we would count backwards. And so let's see how that would work. I could go back. Maybe I count back 10 from 85, which would be 75. And then I could count back another 10, which would be 65. And another 10, which would be 55. And finally, another 10, which would be 45. And then I would count back 5 to 40. And from 40 to 37, I would count back 3. And if I add those together, 10, 10, 10, 10 is 40. Plus 5 and 3 is 8. That would be 48. But we're going to look at another strategy as well. So let's take a look at another strategy. And this is super important that you pay attention. We call this traditional. And as always with math, we want to try to be as efficient as possible. So we will start with 85. And we will write 85, 8 tens, and 5 ones. And we're going to subtract 37. Now, you may look at that and you may think to yourself, how do I solve that? if I look in the ones place, I will see that I have 85 minus 37. And we would take the top number or the bottom number and subtract it from the top number. But in this case, the top number is larger or smaller than the bottom number. And so because of that, we need to make sure that we are doing the correct job of trading. So let's do some numbers here. Let's do 5 dots and let's do 8 longs. All right, in order for this to work, because 85 is 8 tens and 5 ones, we're going to have to trade. So we're going to have to take one of these tens away and make this 10 more ones. So now I have 15 tens altogether. I have 15. All right, but now I only have 7 tens because I took one away. So that's going to become a 7. And this is going to become a 15. We have 15 ones because I took a 10 and gave it to the ones place. And now instead of having 5 ones, I have 15. So now I can take 7 away. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, which would leave me 8. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I had too many numbers there, but 8. All right, so 15 minus 7 is 8. And I have 7 tens, and I subtract 3 tens, and that would give me 48. And as you can see, that is the same answer that we used when we did the counting up or counting back, and it's very close to our estimation. So these are some examples of how you can find the difference. You can count up, you can count back, or you can do what we call a traditional subtraction problem. Some people do it trade first as well. It is a great strategy to use. And again, as we get into higher numbers, it can be more efficient to use as well. Great job, and keep practicing.